Returning home for a family visit, I found myself sold overseas by my own brother. My parents used the money from my sale to fund his marriage and start his family. They laughed, saying this useless burden finally served some purpose. Little did they know my boyfriend happened to be Alex, crown prince of a foreign kingdom. The day I return would mark the beginning of their prison sentences. Chapter 1. My eyes snapped open to the harsh reality of being in foreign territory. Several burly men leered at me with predatory grins. "Mike." One tattooed thug gestured. "This one's got some looks. Let the boys have fun before we disfigure her." "Yeah." Another licked his lips. "I can barely hold back looking at her like this." "Fine." Mike flashed rotten teeth in approval. I scrambled backward, every nerve alert. Suddenly remembering, I demanded, "What do you want? Where's my brother? What have you done to him? He'd been in the car with me, had they taken him too?" The tattooed man barked laughter. "Him? He skipped town with cash hours ago. You really think you're here by accident?" His words struck like lightning. Before New Year's, my brother had begged for wedding funds. I'd refused. Though raised in a son-favoring household, I'd sworn never to become his bankroller. Yet he'd crossed this unthinkable line. Memories flooded back, parents mysteriously absent during my homecoming. My brother's strange behavior. The patterns became clear. For years I'd avoided family. Until 2 years ago when my parents transformed. Constant tearful calls apologizing. Sending hometown gifts. Their sudden warmth made me return the spring festival after hearing Mom's illness, hoping for reconciliation. Planning to introduce Alex later. Now this nightmare. Were my parents victims too? Or accomplices? No, even with their favoritism, I remained their blood. Forcing down terror. I stood. "I'll double whatever he paid you." The gang erupted in cruel laughter. The tattooed brute shoved me down hard. "Think we're beggars? We don't want money, can't you tell?" He loomed closer. "After we're done, we'll just mutilate you." Scarred face. Amputated legs, not even your family would recognize you. As the thugs closed in like smothering smog, I scrambled backward only to be kicked down. Their leader yanked my hair to eye level. "Listen good," he sneered. "You entered Thompson family territory, there's no escape. Look at yourself. What chance does some weak girl have against us?" My skull cracked against stone as he flung me aside. Vision swimming. But 2 words burned through the pain: Thompson family. I looked behind them and saw an endless grassland with a familiar-looking structure. That's right. My boyfriend Alex is from here. He'd told me before. And he'd even shown me pictures of that building, saying it was the landmark of their village. Alex was the son of the chieftain of the Thompson family. Their prince here. He'd explained how their tribe used to be extremely backward years ago. They'd frequently abduct people for mutilation, disfiguring faces before forcing them to beg as disabled persons. But after his father became chieftain, he strictly prohibited such practices. The whole tribe moved to the grasslands, making their living through herding cattle and sheep. Now those barbaric customs had been completely eradicated. He'd even promised to take me home after Spring Festival to make me his princess. I thought he was joking, but it turned out to be true. Grasping at this lifeline, I shouted desperately, "I'm your prince's girlfriend. Don't you dare touch me." The tattooed man spat his cigarette on me. "Yeah, right. Next you'll say I'm the goddamn president." He stabbed the burning cigarette butt into my arm, making me yelp and jerk away. "I can prove it." I shook my head frantically. "My boyfriend's name is Alex. Give me my phone and I'll show you." The tattooed man hesitated upon hearing the name, glancing at their leader. "Mike. What do we do?" Mike strode toward me. "You want to prove it with your phone?" Hope surged through me as I nodded vigorously. "Everything's in my phone." A sharp slap cut me off mid-sentence. Mike's powerful blow sent me sprawling to the ground. My face burned numb while ringing filled my ears. Think I'm stupid? Mike sneered. Letting you call the cops? And quit lying, our prince would never pick some country girl. Your own brother sold you from the town. I'd fled to the city to escape my misogynistic family, where I'd met Alex at work. As I tried to explain from the dirt, the tattooed man stomped on my face. Crafty bitch. His boot sole ground against my cheek until another man protested. Stop ruining her face. Show some respect to beauty. His yellowed, crooked smile filled me with revulsion. Mike stood and raised his hand. Since she's so feisty, let's teach her proper manners first. Break her in good for the brothers. After we're done, we'll cripple her for street begging. Horror dawned. They meant to perform the very mutilation Alex had described. Several men dragged me up as I struggled, earning kicks and slaps. Trying to scare us with the chieftain's son? Lock her in the sheep pen. They threw me into a dark, stinking pit. I screamed hysterically. Let me see Alex. Take me to Alex. The tattooed man approached wielding some ominous object. The sharp crack of the whip split the air as searing pain exploded across my back. I collapsed face first into the dirt, every twitch sending fresh agony through my shredded flesh. Mike chuckled, the moonlight glinting off the horsewhip in his hand. Lesson 1. Sweetheart. I'll break that spirit of yours without breaking your pretty neck. Pain's a fine teacher. Don't you think? Tattooed arm dude snorted. That whip's been soaking in brine all week. Really gets under the skin. Eh? Before I could catch my breath, Yellowtooth shoved through the crowd, reeking of stale beer and lust. My turn, boss. His grimy hands grabbed at my torn shirt. I sank my teeth into his wrist like a rabid dog, tasting copper as he howled. Mike strode over, cigarette glowing between his fingers. Enough. The burning ember ground into my neck flesh. My scream finally loosened the death grip on Yellowtooth's arm. You still don't get it, do you? Tattooed arm raised the whip again. We're doing you a favor. Most girls beg for strong men like us. The salt-cured leather found its rhythm, crack after crack turning my world into white-hot static. I curled into a quivering ball, my whimpers blending with their laughter. They left me shivering in my own blood and urine as dawn approached. Death seemed kinder than another day in this hell. Morning light brought fresh horrors. Mike straddled a snorting stallion while others chained my ankle to its flank. Think you're tough? He smirked. Let's see you outrun thunder here. The world became a blur of hooves and flying sod. I ran until my lungs burned, until the metallic taste of blood filled my mouth. When the stallion surged forward, the ground ripped through my clothes like sandpaper. Stones tore into my chest, mixing blood with tears of humiliation. Giddy up! Mike's shout came as the stallion suddenly halted, leaving me a broken doll in the dirt. Through swollen eyes, I saw him take a call, his sneer transforming into groveling deference. Of course. Alex. The bonfire tonight? We'll have everything ready for your homecoming. The men's laughter died as Mike turned, cell phone pressed to his ear like a sacred relic. In that moment, I memorized the name that made devils tremble, Alex. My ticket out of hell. His smile instantly turned obsequious. Got it. No problem. I'll make sure to slaughter plenty of fat sheep and cattle. My head snapped up. Alex was back. Was I finally getting rescued? Clutching this last shred of hope, I felt survival's fragile flame rekindle inside me. Mike hung up the phone and glared. Consider yourself lucky today. Boys. Let's go butcher some livestock. The tattooed man spat at me. Crawl back to the sheep pen like the bitch you are. Resistance was futile now, compliance might buy me time. Swallowing my pride, I scrambled through dirt and hay into the fetid enclosure. Their raucous laughter followed me. Mike's methods never fail. Tamed her into a proper mutt. Mike chuckled. Once Alex leaves the Thompson family territory, we'll have our fun. Keep her pretty face intact for the bed. Then break her good. Street beggars make fine entertainment. Cheers erupted outside. Shivering in my bloodied clothes. Eyelids leaden. I fought sleep's pull. Survival depended on reaching Alex. Dusk brought commotion outside. I pressed against the splintered door, catching Mike's voice. "Chief." The bonfire's ready at nightfall. An older man grunted approval. Suddenly, that familiar baritone cut through. "Good preparations. Mike. I'll bring my girlfriend back soon and make the next feast grander." Affection warmed his words. Mike fawned. "Absolutely. Alex. The Thompson family will roll out the red carpet for our future misses." "Thompson. Alex." My parched throat produced only rasping whispers. Frantic. I pounded the walls. The chief paused. "What's that noise?" Mike laughed easily. "Ewes lambing. Typical nighttime fuss." "Check it. Blackie." The tattooed man burst in, kicking my ribs. "Stupid bitch." I vomited bile, then sank teeth into his arm. His howls brought running footsteps. "What's happening?" Alex's voice neared despite Mike's protests. Stars exploded behind my eyes as punches rained down. But I clung like a rabid animal until the world went black. "Just a cranky you butting heads," Mike called, kicking the pen door for effect. "All good here." The footsteps retreated. They'd bought the lie. My last hope slipped away with the fading crunch of boots on gravel. I frantically pounded on the door, screaming with all my might. No. He couldn't leave. Though my throat burned like sandpaper, I rasped out, "Alex." My voice emerged as a dry, broken whisper, utterly unrecognizable from its former tone. Alex paused, frowning. "Did you hear something?" He pushed the door open. Mike and the tattooed man instantly blocked his view. The dim sheet pen's shadows concealed me completely behind them. My last shout had drained every ounce of strength, leaving me collapsed on the filthy floor like a broken doll. Though Alex stood mere feet away, I couldn't move, couldn't make a sound. Mike bowed obsequiously. "Mr. Thompson, just smelly livestock here. The bonfire's starting, let's head over before dark." As Alex turned to leave, my vision blurred and the world began spinning. I'd failed. Then his polished boots halted mid-step. He bent down, retrieving something from the straw. "What's this?" he muttered, running fingers over the object. His face went pale. "This bracelet." Alex's knuckles whitened around the familiar turquoise beads. "Why is my engagement bracelet here? Who's locked inside?" Mike stammered. "Just pregnant ewes." "I swear." My numb fingers brushed my bare wrist. The bracelet was gone. "Our promise token. Release them now or I'll gut you." Alex roared, his boot connecting with Mike's ribs. The crunch of breaking bones echoed as Mike crashed into the sheep pen wall. "Have you forgotten our family oath?" Alex's voice shook with fury. "Our ancestors abandoned human trafficking generations ago when the herds made us wealthy. You'd resurrect those cursed practices for entertainment?" Mike crawled through manure, blubbering. "Her own parents sold her. Said they needed money for medical bills." The words hit like a cattle prod. My parents? My baby brother's conspirators? Their tearful apologies. Mom's terminal illness, all lies to lure me home. Alex's enraged bellow drowned Mike's screams. "You think human lives are toys?" Each kick landed with sickening thuds. "Where is she?" As consciousness faded, I heard fabric tear, Alex ripping open the pen gate. His arms lifted me gently, the turquoise bracelet pressing into my palm. "Emily," his tears fell on my grime-caked face. "My God, what have they done to you?" They did all this to secure a bride for their younger brother. Even as rage burned within me, I lacked the strength to show it. Alex suddenly kicked him and snarled, "This transaction isn't just illegal, it violates our family's code." How dare you act without authorization? Have you forgotten who leads this family? Mike kowtowed frantically, trembling. My mistake. My grave mistake. I'd never disregard your authority. Alex's voice shook with fury. Where is she? The tattooed man before me collapsed to his knees, stammering. She's here, Alex. Alex kicked him aside. As our eyes met, my consciousness began fading. I felt the warmth of Alex's broad chest and heard his panicked cry. Emily! Stay with me! Somebody get the damn medic! I awoke in an opulent bedroom, bandaged and oxygen masked. Alex sat vigil beside me, eyes bloodshot. Seeing me stir, he crushed me against his chest. Emily, thank God. This is all my fault. When I mouthed soundlessly, he brought paper. My shaking hand wrote, Where are they? Alex's expression turned murderous. Chained in the square for public judgment. At my confusion, he clarified. The police will take them, but first, you decide their fate. I scrawled, make them feel my pain. Perfect. Alex nodded. The Thompson family needs this lesson. Tears spilled freely, 2 days' worth of anguish purged. After a week's recovery, Alex still wheeled me about, insisting on full healing. That afternoon, he pushed me toward the barn where my tormentors knelt trembling. Alex. Mercy! They chorused upon his entrance. We've repented. Yet you showed Emily none. Alex said icily. His men descended like wolves. The snaggle-toothed brute lost his last hair. The tattooed thug spat teeth. Mike, their leader, became a bruised tapestry. When the beating paused, Alex traced my cigarette scar. Whose work? Mike whispered. Mine. Alex lit a cigarette and ground it into Mike's neck. Mike Davis screamed in pain as he was scalded. The other men trembled violently upon seeing this. Then his subordinate brought another horse. Alex chuckled. When it comes to spirited horses in our Thompson family, if mine claims second place, none dare claim first. Let's give them a taste of true spirit. The subordinate immediately chained the men together and tethered them to the horse. Alex stood beside me, calmly reassuring me. When everything was ready, he blew a sharp whistle with composed authority. Alex's horse shot forward like lightning. True to his word, the stallion's speed visibly outpaced the previous horse. Within moments, the men were being dragged through the dust. After one full circuit, the yellow-toothed man's face had been shredded beyond recognition. The tattooed man's sleeve designs were ruined, his arms reduced to raw meat. Every torment they'd inflicted on me during those 2 days was meticulously returned under Alex's direction. The punishment continued until nightfall. Standing before the entire Thompson family, Alex declared in steel-edged tones, "This is the consequence of defying family rules. Let this warn any fool considering old mistakes." Days later, when I recovered, Alex delivered the men to the police. After resolving everything, he asked about my plans. Remembering my heartless parents, I coldly stated, "Home. Take me home." Alex obediently drove me back. The town buzzed with unusual festivity. Someone's wedding procession paralleled our route until we realized with shock that the celebration was at my own home. My heart turned to ice. They'd sold their daughter only to immediately host their son's wedding? Were their hearts forged from iron? Laughter died when I entered. My brother and parents froze mid-celebration, stunned to see me unharmed. Before I could speak, Mother grabbed my arm. "Where've you been? Couldn't come for holidays, but appear for your brother's wedding?" "Emily, I'm married." My brother beamed. "Meet your new sister-in-law." The farce sickened me. Their lifelong charade of affection, surface-level generosity while secretly favoring my brother, now lay bare. Like my name Emily, which I'd once thought beautiful until recognizing its similarity to those daughter-summoning names. Emily. M. Their mask finally dropped when constant demands for money began, all for my brother's benefit. Hence my years of avoiding holidays. Father eyed Alex. Who's this? Boyfriend? Is his family wealthy? My younger brother sneered. This guy seems like a country bumpkin. Not even as good as folks from our town. He leaned in and sniffed. I can practically smell the sheep dung on him. Mom turned pale and immediately grabbed a broom to shoo Alex away. You're not welcome here. There's no way you're dating my daughter. Don't even dream of climbing above your station. Poor people shouldn't even think about marrying into our family. Their outrage lasted exactly until they spotted the luxury car parked outside. They'd assumed Alex's rural background meant poverty. Completely ignorant about the immense wealth represented by vast prairie herds, let alone that Alex was the heir to the Thompson family fortune. My brother's eyes lit up with greed. Sis. Is this car your wedding gift to me? Perfect timing, I really need new wheels. Dad started salivating while Mom fawned over me. Our Emily's so thoughtful. Always putting family first. I shoved her away coldly. You've got some nerve. Since when do parasites get to claim other people's property? My brother charged at me, finger jabbing my face. How dare you disrespect Mom? You ungrateful bitch. The sharp crack of my palm across his cheek silenced the room. He clutched his face in shock. You hit me? Even Mom and Dad never. Alex stepped between us. His 6'4" frame looming. Try touching her. I dare you. The coward instantly backed down, though his glare promised vengeance. Hit you? I laughed bitterly. You sold your own sister to human traffickers. How's that for family values? His bride gasped in horror. You monster. Her own slap echoed mine before she stormed out. This wedding's off. No amount of pleading stopped her from leaving in the bridal car. Dad turned purple with rage. You ruined your brother's marriage. Mom clawed at me hysterically. Do you know how hard it was to find him a wife? He was doing you a favor matching you with that good family. Ah yes. Being sold like livestock, such a thoughtful wedding gift. My laughter held ice. Don't worry about his marriage prospects. Once the police hear about this, prison will be his new home. The color drained from my brother's face as he collapsed at my feet. Please, Emily. Don't. It was Mom and Dad's idea. I just followed orders. His sniveling confession carried perfectly to our gathered neighbors. The crowd buzzed with scandalized whispers. They sold their own daughter? Medieval much? Wait. How'd she escape? Who cares? This is the juiciest drama since the Johnsons' divorce. As the neighbors' commentary grew louder, Dad's face matched his scarlet necktie. I turned to the family that betrayed me one last time. You're not my family anymore. The police will decide what happens next, though I suspect Prison Orange will clash terribly with your wedding decor. My steps quickened as I ran over, raising my hand to strike. But Alex swiftly intercepted, pushing the assailant to the ground. He frowned. I warned you, no one touches her. Father sprawled on the pavement, venom still dripping from his words. Ungrateful brat. How did I raise such a backstabbing cur? I glared at him through narrowed eyes. Your favoritism nearly cost me my life to fund your precious son's wedding. What right do you have to judge me now? Mother clutched at my sleeve, tears streaking her face. Emily. Please, you must forgive us. Don't ruin your brother's future. Defeated. Father joined her pleas. We were wrong. We'll change, just don't call the police. My expression remained glacial. The phantom pains of those 2 torturous days still haunted my nightmares. No amount of groveling could erase that trauma. Why should I spare the architects of my suffering? Sirens wailed in the distance. Panicked, Father shoved brother toward a decorated getaway car. Run! We'll take the fall! The coward scrambled inside, tires screeching as he fled. Such touching familial loyalty, their coddling had molded him into a lawless parasite. Handcuffs snapped around my parents' wrists. At the precinct, I methodically recounted my ordeal to stone-faced officers. Investigators later confirmed the conspiracy, sentencing all involved, including my fugitive brother, apprehended that same day. Emerging from the courthouse, I finally breathed free from the Johnson family's toxic shadow. Yet peace proved fleeting. When our story exploded online, outrage rippled across forums. What backward tribe still practices this barbarism? Disgusting. Boycott these human traffickers. Stone Age mentality in modern times. Adventurous netizens even descended upon the Thompson family's territory. Amid the digital firestorm, Alex ended things abruptly. "I don't love you anymore," he claimed, walking away without a backward glance. The lie cut deep. I knew he sought to shield me from backlash. But his rejection still left me raw. He'd been my lifeline during the darkest hours, yet now denied me the chance to reciprocate support. With communications severed, I channeled my energy into work, grinding harder than ever. Ever since I started working after graduation, I've been making up for what I lacked as a child, reclaiming all the things my younger self missed out on. But after everything that's happened recently, the last shred of hope I held for my parents and that family has been completely extinguished. I've become more guarded and vigilant. Not only that, I've taken up boxing classes, determined to protect myself rather than relying on others. A year flashed by. Just before the Lunar New Year, I was promoted to director. Through relentless effort, I bought my own home. I decorated it with spring couplets to bring in the festive spirit. Though I spent the holiday alone again this year, I vowed to make it memorable. The next day, someone knocked on my door, assuming it was a friend coming to wish me a happy new year. I was stunned to find Alex standing there. He pulled me into a tight embrace before I could react. "Emily, I've missed you so much," he murmured. Back then, I had to return to resolve tribal matters. I didn't want to drag you into it, that's why I broke things off. It wasn't what I truly wanted. Through his explanation, I learned what had transpired that year. The Thompson family tribe had disbanded completely, a decision made by Alex and his father. They feared others like Mike would exploit the tribe structure for illegal activities. Using it as a shield, the shared tribal assets were fairly distributed, and Alex had planned to introduce me to his family after the holidays. "Emily," Alex said, gripping my hand, "I've carried so much guilt over how things ended. I don't know if you'd still consider marrying me." He knelt, pulling out a diamond ring. Tears streamed down my face as I choked out, "I do." The real villains were my so-called parents, brother, and people like Mike, those who'd schemed with malice. Without Alex's intervention in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. He slid the ring onto my finger, his own tears falling as he admitted, "I practiced this proposal countless times." I was terrified. I noticed the clamminess of his palm and teased, "What if I'd said no?" He grinned, ruffling my hair. "I'd keep asking until you said yes." That spring festival, Alex took me to meet his parents. Their warmth enveloped me immediately. On New Year's Eve, his father handed him a red envelope while his mother pressed one into my hands. "This is your lucky money from me," she beamed. Emotion overwhelmed me. It was the first time I'd ever received such a gesture. For the first time, I felt like a truly cherished child during the holidays. Emily Johnson and Alex Thompson are members of the Thompson family. Emily is known as Emily, and Mike is their mentor. The Johnson family has deep connections with the Thompson family.